Hi there, I'm Mike Creevy for Homeschool Connections, and with me today is Homeschool Connections instructor Monica Cincotta. Monica, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And it's a delight to have you here to talk about your Homeschool Connections courses. But before we do that, let's just see how you came to Homeschool Connections in the first place. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that journey?
Sure. First, greetings from New Jersey. And
Not too
the
far
way
away.
not too far from where you are, I understand. So, my friend Phyllis Kiernan works for Homeschool Connections in the office. Some of you know her. And we directed theater for quite a number of years together. And I homeschooled some of her children. We were in the same co-op. And so she mentioned it to me. And then they needed someone to teach last year music. And I said I would do it. I'd jump in. And it became a really good experience. So I'm going to do it again this year. So I'm really excited about teaching for
Yeah.
Homeschool Connections. I'm married for like 33 years. I've been teaching for about 35 years. I have four children.
Wow.
I homeschooled all of them. They're adults now. My youngest is in college. And I pretty much, the truth of the matter is, as much I'm certified to teach elementary ed and music, but I've taught pretty much everything from infants to adults in all kinds of subjects. And
Yeah.
music, of course, is my main, but I've taught science, I've taught Latin, I've taught public
Wow.
speaking, you
Wow.
name it, with the co-op and also with some students that I knew through the years. I've also teach piano and I've been a public speaking judge for 4-H. So I have a pretty
Wow.
wide variety of things that I do with, I guess, performance and public speaking. So
Sure.
that's part of why I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Right. Well, and that brings a lot of again that experience to bear. In ways I'm sure that you don't always sort of anticipate because, right? I mean, very frequently some of those experiences that we have kind of find a way of, finding their way into anything that we're doing at any given time. So
Oh,
that's got to
absolutely. I
be,
think it's
yeah.
all God, right? It's all God's,
Amen.
the way he pulls us together, and the experiences I had. I taught in a public school for 4 years. I taught music, even though I was um, elementary teacher also, but they needed a music teacher. And because I was also certified in music, it worked out great. But then I stayed home with my children and homeschooled. And you're right, every year was something different, something different. So I feel like I'm the kind of teacher that can jump in and read a curriculum and teach it.
Sure.
Um,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's never boring. So that's what's
Right.
exciting about it. I love teaching so much that I can make what it is with those students. And even online, this online platform is different, but it can be just as exciting as being in a classroom.
I was going to ask you one question I like to ask sometimes in these kind of brief little interviews and promos is, in your experience, what has been maybe something that's a challenge in the format, this particular kind of venue, and maybe what's a unique opportunity, that you've seen that
Yeah.
comes along with that.
Well, the truth of the matter is the challenge is not being able to see the whole child, the whole student, because you'll see using Zoom or whatever the platform is, you're seeing little faces, a whole bunch of little faces, but you're not seeing the person. And that for me is difficult transferring. I mean, like I said, I've taught for 35 years and it's always been live, right? In
Hmm.
person. Particularly difficult is teaching public speaking, but I realize the shift has to be that students need to know how to like what we're doing right now. We're doing an
Right.
interview. How do you sit? How does the lighting have to be? How do you speak? You still have to enunciate. And I think even more so when you're online because of how it could be garbled or so there's a lot of value in some of the what I do with teaching online, but it is challenging if I can't see the whole person, and it depends on the material too. It depends on the subject. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm teaching two music classes, and there's a lot of listening. So on the online format, it's excellent because I can bring in YouTube videos and I can actually show them orchestras or whatever it is. With the elementary grade school music I'm going to be doing, it's interactive and it's more, I'm going to set it up more like a camp. So
Oh
it's a
wow,
30
neat.
minute, live,
Right.
whatever, it's going to be
Right. Right. Right.
interactive. But then on the other end, I'm teaching Latin, middle school Latin, and that's more formal classroom. So that's a little different. That's a little harder when you want
Mm.
to just call on a student and say, then you're doing it through this online platform. It is a little more difficult and challenging, but you can still do it, and you can still
Yeah.
get the same results. Of course, on the other end, the student end, you hope and pray that they're really paying attention, that they're not, also playing a video game.
Right. Doing
But
something
I
else in the
think
background.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, my own kids took some online classes, and I would monitor them, but for the most part, they did what they were supposed to do. And I know that students, the Homeschool Connection students that I've met so far, seem to really want to learn, and are really, very thoughtful in how they ask questions. And
Hmm.
I was really excited to teach music, and that's mostly what I taught in public speaking this year, because it was a pretty neat student that I met, more than not. So it was
Yeah.
really a fun experience so far.
Wonderful. Well, is there anything like in your upcoming course and courses, the sort of next school year here as we're recording this, is there anything in particular that you're really excited about? Something new or something that worked before that you're really excited to kind of try again?
Sure. Well, I am looking forward to doing this elementary level, the grade school level music, because it is going to be interactive and it'll be whole family. So, if there's a third to sixth grader that are taking the course, it could easily be translated to the younger students or even the older students, depending on how the parents want to use it. Because, of course, parental subsidiarity. I mean, it's up to the parent how they use our material, right?
Hmm.
So, I look forward to that. I was a camp director. Actually, during COVID, had to run a Cub Scout camp on Zoom,
Oh,
and
wow.
we did it. And so I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. So I really do hope it translates well, and that
Sure.
the families have a good time with that. And then public speaking, I already mentioned, that's also interactive and it's online. And then the music appreciation class is more traditional, and Latin's more traditional. But again, using the platform that we have, hopefully the student is really gaining a lot of knowledge, and able to use those tools for themselves too, like flashcards and the
Hmm.
online quizzes, and just being able to jump to different links to have further information. So
There's
I
so
think
many
that'll
available resources, and I mean,
yes,
I even
yes.
after a year with Caravel now, I mean, it's at the time of this recording, it's there's still more exciting things to uncover on there for
I
sure.
think so. I keep finding
Yeah.
something new. So
Yeah.
hopefully I can use it to the best of my ability,
Sure.
and it translates to the students and does well. So yes, so I'm happy to be working for Homeschool Connections, and I'm glad I have an opportunity to teach a variety of subjects, and not just music, and not just, one
Right.
thing, but that I can do a couple different things, because that's what I'm used to doing. So
Yeah.
for me personally, it's been rewarding.
Well, I think and homeschool connections in my experience too has really, I think, consistently enabled those of us, I think, who kind of kind of find our way to homeschool connections to bring those different skills and interests to bear in a really productive and hopefully encouraging way for the students and for everybody else. So what anything else that you want to share as far as how people can get in touch with you, how parents can reach out, students can learn more?
Sure. I mean, of course, for the courses, they just need to go to the Homeschool Connections website, to the catalog, and look for music or public speaking or Latin. And if anybody wanted to contact me personally and ask me any questions, my Gmail is mcincotta.hsc@gmail.com. And I'm happy to talk to anybody about any of those things. And yeah,
Looking
I
forward to
hope
it.
people contact me. I mean, I hope people,
Yeah.
want to take music and want to take public speaking. It'll be exciting this year, and Latin, because the Latin I'll be teaching this year is going to lead into the high school Latin. So we're going to
Oh,
use
wonderful.
Memoria Press's first form, second form.
Great. Awesome. Well, Monica Cincotta, thank you so much for stopping by today, sharing with us about your homeschool connections experience and classes, and I really hope you get a good turnout.
Thank you very much, and have a good day, you too,
You
everybody.
too. God
Bye.
bless.